Friday. It's Friday. It's dressed down Friday. You know what I mean? Throwing a little Amiri for this little presentation of eyes here. Trying to think to myself. Let's think. Because, I always talk about on the weekends, Friday is a go out day. It's a meet people day. Like if you're a single guy or gal out there, as they say. And so, you think to yourself like, hey, I go out, meet myself a couple nice people, maybe 3 or 4 nice people. And, not that I'm going to live happily ever after, but hopefully that somebody will understand my story and they'll say, hey, listen, you know what? That's a decent guy right there, and things will go a little different. But as I tell people, especially if you are not or have not been in the dating arena over the last 3 or 4 years, it's different. It's different. It doesn't really matter. Well, unless, you're one of these kind of people, one of these kind of guys that leads with money. And that's okay, too, sometimes, depending on, look, listen. And what I've learned is that the older that you get, you want to take the least path to resistance. So, hey, listen, man, you know what I mean? If you having a diamond watch or a moissanite or fake diamond watch on, it ain't my kind of thing. Or if you got the diamond chain on or the fake diamond chain and it gets you the looks, which it does, I'm telling you, I've been out and seen it from the ladies, then hey, you know what I mean? You do what you got to do. But like I've said before, sometimes we got to start shopping in different places. So, like I told you before, I was on a Carnival cruise and, it was like that. And, met people from South Carolina, from, and what I mean by people, I mean women, Georgia, of course, Orlando, Florida. And just about all of them have been Ohio. Just about all of them have been real cool, responsive. Hey, yo, it was nice meeting you. It was blah, 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 blah. And then we get down to the sisters that I met from Philadelphia. And it always turns into a deal of, you just don't know. You just can't really figure out what's going on in their minds. You pretty much know, even if you ask them if they're married, they pretty much all have somebody. And listen, it's okay. Because by the time you're 40, 35, older, you're not married, you typically have somebody, even if it's a long-term baby daddy or 2. And in some people's cases, 3. So, but the one thing that perplexes me and that I can't understand is you give your number out. You say, okay, well, this guy, he's obviously worth a shot. He's obviously worth at least me, staying in some type of communication with him. Like I'll tell you, it's a couple things that I don't do, and I would suggest you don't do also. Is that because this is kind of like a put off thing, or at least it kind of does not. In my estimation, it shows that the woman doesn't necessarily have that initial interest. Where if she says to you, "Oh yeah, you can have my Instagram," or "Give me your Instagram," what? Shorty, you got 3,458 followers. What? What you think? I'm a sucker, dog? But anyway, that's just the way I look at it. So I say, you know what? You don't want to give me a number. It's cool. We good. And I even see the difference in me now than either 3 or 4 years ago. Because what we're not doing is that we're not going to sit up here and poly and beg for nothing. Know what I mean? I got decent credit. Got my own crib to live in. Got a couple wheels. You know what I'm saying? A little bit taller than the average guy. Yeah, I got some gray hairs, but gray hairs don't care. So what we're not going to do is we're not going to have the insulting of intelligence. And the reason why I say this is because I'm even saying it to you. If you go through these experiences, if you happen to be a single person, and if you're not, send this to somebody that's single and see if they go through some of the same issues. Where, like to me, getting a number is nothing nowadays. Getting a number is like, all right, cool. You're going to win a lot of times. Sometimes you're not because in these days and times, women got the block feature. So where we all have the block feature. Shoot, I've had to block people before too. So it ain't that big of a deal where, somebody can give you a number like, get out of here, beat it, kid, after they give you the number. And if they want to, they can block the number. But what is it about if especially when people are holding these phones in their hands or somewhere near them all the time, and you text them and they don't text you back. I remember Little Romeo had this song, "Hey girl, I beep you. Why you ain't call me back?" Or is I beep you? Why you ain't beat me back? Yeah, I beep you. Why you ain't call me back? Either way, some kind of way, you get what I'm saying. So you will text somebody and they will decide, I guess, when they want to text you back. Well, what the hell did you give me the number for? You know, and my thing is that, because even for me, like what I do is that, like, even if I get the number, like I'll wait a day or two or whatever to text you back. Like, it's no big deal. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever. But my thing is that, and I would tell other guys this because this is the advice that I even give my homies, the ones that got a couple dollars, the ones that don't. Yo, listen, if a person's not vibing with you, if they're not getting right back with you, I don't even care if they're at work, because people try to pull the work BS too. Listen, everybody got these things on them. Everybody. You ever call a woman, or either you text them, and you say, all right, well, hey, you know what I mean? Sometimes you might even forget that you text them. It took them so long to text you back. But then you go straight off of Instagram. Shout out to my man Jake. We've seen this BS a bunch of times. But her joint on Instagram is lit up. So she's sitting there scrolling, which means she got the phone, which means she got the message. So the reason why I'm bringing this stuff up is because I know it's not going to happen, but this is what I would prefer. Ladies, if you're not interested in a guy, don't give him your number. Most times ain't going to be no problems after that. Or either just lie. When a guy comes up and says, hey, you married, you single, you got somebody, or whatever the case may be, just say yes. Say, I've been with him for at least 10 years. He's never decided to marry me, but I'm still with him. Just say it. It's okay. Because my big thing is that I love and want to defend people, women and all of this other kind of stuff. But sometimes the way I'm starting to see things is that, like, the behavior is like a little weird. Because, like, even me, like I said, I'm 51, right? You know what I mean? And hey man, some people might hate the age, but listen, that's where we at with it, right? So a lot of the women that I talk to or get numbers from, at least late 30s, early 40s, mid 40s, a lot of the times. So what am I saying? Too old to play those games. If you ain't feeling the guy, if you ain't feeling the kid, say, hey, look, listen, and I get it. Because sometimes people have stuff going on, and what'll happen is that, because they won't tell you guys that a lot of times they still got a significant situation. They don't think that we know, but we know, and we get it. But we're men, so we still don't mind a little bit of the chase, but we get it. So I get it. You still live at the crib with the ball. And you know what I'm saying? You can't do this and do that, but you kind of want to get out sometimes, but you don't know, because he going to be calling you, because you're going to answer that phone. He going to be calling you. Oh, where you at? Why you ain't here? The kids is here. This is that going on. Where you been? He might have a tracker on your car, on your phone. Who knows? Because a lot of times you're probably the same way with him. Oh, where you at? I know you ain't out with no bitches out. All this other kind of crazy stuff, right? My whole point is too many games going on for too many women that are too old. Not saying that you're old, because a lot of times you're younger than me, but you're too old to play these games. If you don't like a boy, just say you don't like the boy. It's all right. Like a lot of dudes are used to, you know what I'm saying? Look, I'm gonna spin off in another direction. It's okay. You know what I mean? Because I'm the first person. I've even told women this before. Look, listen, you go find the boy that you want. Because if I think highly of myself and that I'm a decent person and that I got plenty of resources, I know how to get stuff done. All right? I'm pretty smart and I'm no joke. So what we're not going to do is we're not going to play the, oh, you know what? He didn't call me 700 times because he didn't apply any pressure and all this other kind of crap. No, dog. Y'all know who y'all be wanting to bang with. So if that's who you want to bang with, go bang with them. You dig me? Don't give out numbers and all this other kind of stuff and you not bout it. Especially if the boy is showing you that he's bout it. And like I said, I get it. We've all lived with somebody. You know what I mean? We've all lived with somebody. We've all been with somebody, been with people. But do yourself a favor. Do me a favor. Do everybody in the world a favor. If somebody texts you, have enough respect to text them back. Thank you. And while you're texting back, make sure you live life. Don't let life live you.